Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at this, which is the 72 survival kit from, as you can see, the Uncharted Supply Company. A couple things I'll tell you. First off, you can see the bag's got a little wear. I emptied the kit out and used the bag on a kayaking trip not too long ago, and I'll roll in a couple photos here because it was waterproof, and so I wanted to give it a shot. The other thing I'll tell you is I was at Cabela's probably a month and a half ago, and I saw that they sell some of the Uncharted Supply Company survival kits there, which is a pretty good sign right off the bat, because you're like, okay, if you can get into a store like Cabela's and have them selling your product, it means you've definitely done something right. So we're gonna show you what's in the kit. I've looked at a lot of different survival kits over the years, the pre-made ones. This one has some really unique features that I think are gonna stand out to you. And yeah, if you wanna get a kit that's already put together, one of those grab and go type systems that you can add a little bit of stuff to improve it and to tweak it to your specifications, great. But I think you're gonna like what we have from the Uncharted Supply Company. So let's start off and look at the bag. So as you can see, it is waterproof, kind of a heather gray there. You do have a zipper in front, so you can throw some gear there. You can see a daisy chain to attach stuff on that side. We have a water bottle holder on this side. It is one of the roll down tops. That's got the seal, which I'll show you when I open it up. But you basically put the two sides together and then just crank it down, and that should keep the water out. This is not a pack that you're gonna wanna go backpacking with, but as far as carrying the gear for, if you gotta get on the road, I was carrying this, and it's quite comfortable. You do have a sternum strap with a whistle here. And then there is a waistband as our waist strap as well, with some pockets. So that's cool. So you can store some gear as you're actually, walking with the bag. Here's a quick look at the bag on me. So you can certainly crank this thing down tighter if you want to, or you can adjust the straps, you can adjust the sternum strap, but you can also see that the bag doesn't stick out really far. It's not like it's really short and really deep, or really thin and really tall. It's got a nice balance to the size of it. All right, I'm gonna adjust the camera and point it down so you can see when I open up the bag, because again, there's some unique features that I think stand out, and I want you to look at that instead of my face. All right, so here's what I want you to see. You unclip it, you unroll it, open it up, reach in, and there's two handles that stick out here, and you pull this out like so. So there's a quick look into the bag when it's totally empty. And this organizational system has two straps, so you can carry this by itself. But take a look at how they've organized this system. It's just really slick. So we'll look at the individual pieces of gear and what they've included. But I can tell you, in a survival situation, a lot of people are like, how do I make a fire and build a shelter and all those types of things? Your number one challenge in a survival situation is right here. You gotta keep your head in the game. And part of that is like, okay, I gotta get some gloves. I gotta get my blanket. Where is it? And if you're scared, you're concerned about yourself or your family, friends, whatever, to have something that's clearly organized, like here is the food, here is the water, here is the fire starting gear, super, super helpful. So I love the way that this is set up. So we're gonna start down on the food and the water filter end. All right, so here's your food. It's a Daytrex, basically a massive bar here. You got some information on the back. The whole block is 2,400 calories. It says eat one bar every 6 hours per person, eat in small pieces. So you do have some food. It's not gonna be super delicious, but it is gonna give you nutrition and energy. Now right there's an example of how you could customize this. Maybe you have that, and then you throw in a couple MREs, or that, and you throw in some other food that you like. But again, you have nutrition provided right off the bat, which is nice. Here's your water filter, a Sawyer water filter, a great product. So let me take it out of the bag in case you've never seen it before. The Grail water filter bottles, Sawyer and Life Straw, all good options for emergency kits or survival kits. You've got the actual filter, you got the plunger to wash it out, straw, instructions, and then your squeeze system for either filtering into something or carrying the water in this with a cap. So you got food and you got a way to filter water. That water filter is great. Like I said, those three filtering systems are the ones that I prefer. Great products. The Sawyer one, the great thing about with the straw is like you come to a water source and you don't want to filter water and mess around with it and try to put it in an Nalgene or another water bottle. You put that straw in your stream, you know, and you can filter out 99% of the nasties that are going to get you. If you do want to put it into a Nalgene, now you've got one. Uncharted Supply Company. This is a 48 ounce Nalgene. So this is a big one. Fill this up and now you can run this down that side pocket for on the outside of the bag. Like so. And now you've got water easily accessible as you're walking. All right, now we're gonna move on to the air and vision pouch and tools. All right, so first thing is a chem light. This is obviously great for signaling. You're not gonna really use it as a light, you know, to like light up a massive camping area. It'll give you some light in the darkness. But also these are great for entertaining kids. If you've got kids in an emergency situation, this may entertain them and keep them focused on this instead of focused on being afraid. So chem light, and real quick, you get 2 of these, not just one. You get some goggles. Now you look at these and may go like, that's for, you know, snowboarding or skiing. But if you're in a situation where there's lots of stuff flying through the air, throwing on a pair of goggles to keep that grit out of your eyes is huge. So a way to protect your eyes. And then you have an air filtration mask. And as you can see, it's not open, but just so we can actually see what it is, let's open this guy up. Comes with these instructions, an extension strap, an extra mask inside. And then here's basically the larger mask system. So it goes over your face like, let me set this up properly. Then it goes over your face like this. This is hook and loop, but they have basically not uncovered this side. You can see it says remove there. So I'll just show you what it looks like. But that's how they run. And again, you've got that extension. If you're, you know, basically your face is bigger, then you can put the extension strap on. So if you're traveling in a place where there's lots of dust and debris in the air, to have this and to have goggles could be a huge thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the really heartbreaking videos of 9/11, especially in New York City, I think in particular, where there's just dust and debris everywhere. So if you had something like this plus some goggles, that would help you travel in a very cloudy, dusty situation that, you know, it would be nice to have a way to keep that junk out of your lungs and out of your eyes. All right, let's look at the tools now. 100 feet of red paracord, great, you know, tons of uses for cordage. You also get 4.5 meters of duct tape as well. Now again, if you want to add more cordage or bank line in addition to this, you can do that. If you want to add an entire roll of duct tape, you could do that, but you do get some basics. Obviously, tons of uses for cordage, you know, repairing things with duct tape. You can even use this for medical purposes if you don't have any other medical supplies, which we do, but so good to have those 2 things. This is your knife and your fire steel. I can tell you like immediately nothing super impressive about the blade. It's going to be lightweight, got a Tonto tip there. It's going to do the job. You know, some people are going to look at that and go, just get a Mora. Yeah, I would just get a Mora. Just throw a Mora in for, I don't know, say $13. You can get a basic Mora knife and have that in your kit, or you can add another, you know, fancier survival knife if you want. But a good cutting tool is nice to have. And then you've got a fire steel as well to get your fire started. Here's your last tool. This is a shovel. It's basically like a small e-tool. So we'll take this guy out of the container, and you know it's your basic e-tool. So you're gonna crank this up to lock it in. So you've got a serrated edge there. You can certainly chop with it. None of the edges are sharpened like on, say, a cold steel. But then you've got, you know, this pick. So you can basically flatten this guy out here. And then you can use it as more of a digging tool, sort of like a mattock. And then obviously you can use the shovel side too, if you want to dig in like that. But small and lightweight. All right, we're gonna move on to warmth and first aid now. All right, for warmth, we've got some gloves, basic. Definitely gonna keep your hands warm as opposed to having nothing. And now you can actually, you know, touch things that maybe you would get cut by or hurt by. So there's that. There's a beanie here in a bag. So there's some warmth for your head. And you get a emergency blanket here, standard emergency blanket that you'd get in a first aid kit. Get some hand warmers as well. And then you get a survival tent, which is basically like a really large astronaut blanket or, you know, emergency blanket like this. So you can see the picture there. You're gonna throw it over your line, and then, you know, it'll keep the rain off you and stuff. It's not a tent with tent stakes and poles and all that stuff, but it will keep you out of the weather. You know, rain or snow is falling, this will keep it off of you. As I continue in this home stretch of the kit, I can tell you one thing I like is the basic nature of these items, and that They have some instructions on them, basically. This is the kind of kit somebody's gonna buy if they're like, yeah, you know what, I wanna be prepared for an emergency, but I don't think someone's gonna buy this, test out all the products, put them through the whole 9 yards, and then buy another kit saying I've mastered this kit. I think they're gonna get it, put it in the closet, and forget about it until an emergency time or situation comes to pass. So the stuff is basic enough that it's not gonna be super complicated. And you know, the fact that it's all labeled, I think that's good. I think this kit is for people who, by and large, it's for somebody who's at Cabela's and like, you know, we should have a couple of those emergency bags ready to go. That's the type of person I think is gonna grab this and be ready to rock and roll. Your average dude who's super into survival, preparedness, bug out bags and stuff, they're gonna build their own kit. So I don't think this is fundamentally designed for that person who's already like mentally way down that road. It's for the person who's going like, yeah, I wanna be more prepared. I don't know all the different things I need to put in a kit, so it's nice to have one that's already put together for you. On to first aid here, you get a little package of Sani wipes. You also get this, which is the sheath for the multi-tool, because it would just fall out of the little section that the multi-tool's in, so heads up on that. You get some sunscreen. I mean, being in an emergency situation and then all of a sudden you're sunburned too, terrible. So something as simple as that is great. I always keep sunscreen and bug spray in my car, my truck, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You never know when you're gonna need that. So nice to have that in the kit. There's your IFAK, your first aid kit. So first aid core, it's called. Almost dropped it there. Let's open it up and take a look inside. So you have non-adhesive dressing, skin cleaning, pressure bandages, gloves, shears, tweezers, splinter probes. Got some child baby CPR in the back, a couple safety pins, got some tape, got some gloves. Looks like we got maybe a CPR mask in there, yep. Now one addition I would make to this kit is to put a list of everything that's in it. I don't think they have acetaminophen, ibuprofen in here, probably because of shipping and all the concerns with crossing state lines or country lines, things like that. But you know, throw in some ibuprofen, some acetaminophen, some anti-diarrhea pills. For me, it's like, do you got Band-Aids and things? If you have like lacerations, that's one of the major reasons you want to have a first aid kit, and then, you know, some additional things as well. But yeah, super basic, but I think it's going to do the job. All right, last two sections, we have flashlight, lighters, matches, multi-tool, and down here we have the electronics. So here's your flashlight. I'm not sure who makes it. It's a basic one. It does have a zoom option and then zoom out, which is nice, broader and tighter beam. And they do supply your 3 AAA batteries, which is, I prefer it like this as opposed to having them in here, just in case the end pressure switch gets bumped and you're wasting your battery. Now you can install them when you're ready to go. So there's your lighting option. Some people would prefer a headlamp. Again, I think for who this is geared toward, a flashlight's better than probably a headlamp if you haven't. Some people haven't used a headlamp before, so I think a basic flashlight is good. Got some stormproof matches. These are, you know, that you strike on the top. And looks like they've got some of the like cotton there, and then you can see they're kind of like a flare almost when you light them. That little yellow top gives it away sometimes. I would throw maybe a lighter or two in here as well. Again, shipping for them and selling lighters, there's probably complications. So there's another way to get your fire started. You got your multi-tool here. Now this does come with the little sheath I showed you before. There's no company. It's not like Gerber, you know, SOG or Leatherman. Very small multi-tool. Got a little spring in there. It's probably going to do the job just fine for smaller tasks. I wouldn't bear down on this thing and try to, you know, crank down and fix a ton of things. This would be the type of deal where I would swap out for a higher end multi-tool. I think a multi-tool is a great item to have. So get something from Leatherman and put it in your kit. Last up in that electronics section, it says radio, flashlight, USB charger. It's one thing. So there's a flashlight in this, emergency radio. You can see it's got a little solar panel. You can see that light lighting up there, meaning that it's taking in the solar light to charge it. When I cover it up, that little light goes off. I will tell you, the win of this is that it's got the crank on the back and is it a micro? Yeah, micro USB for charging it. A tiny little solar panel like that, in my experience, it's better than nothing, but definitely don't bank on that to charge up this item or any other item that has a really small solar panel. It just takes a really, really long time. So AM, FM, weather band, you can tune it, flashlight. Yeah, kind of another good tool to have. And the fact it's got a flashlight, you got the other flashlight. Now 2 people have some sort of light. Not gonna save the day, not the ultimate weather you know, radio and flashlight, but another good tool to have. All right, so I want to show you real quick basically how you can put this thing away. So here's the whole thing laid out. Hold it over, and then you've got a bunch of buckles here. So clip this one, spin it around, this one, and this one. Now that's all pretty nicely secure. Stand it up, you got hook and loop. So put these two together on the handle. All right, so there's your system. Here's your bag. And basically, the great thing about this is you can just slide it down in, right? So here we go. All right, so I basically got it started. Now just slide it down in. Fold this over. Clip this. Good to go. All right, we're back here wrapping up talking about the Uncharted Supply 72 survival system. Price point for this is right at about $400. So now when you hear that, you're probably gonna go, that's a lot of cash. It is. So I wanna go back to something I said before, which is this system is not for the person who's gonna build their bag from the ground up, who knows survival, understands emergency preparedness, all that stuff. This kit I really think is for somebody who says, I don't know a ton about it, but I know that I wanna have a system that I can like put 4 of these, you know, in my closet, and if something goes down, I can grab it and split. So that being said, I think that first off, I'll let you know if I can get a discount code, check the description section, because that would certainly be nice. But I think this kit offers really a nice level of basics that offers things that are not super complicated for somebody who just wants to be prepared but doesn't understand all the ins and outs of preparedness. For some of you guys to hear that, you're gonna be like, well, they should get more prepared, they should understand more. I don't even necessarily disagree with you, but you gotta start somewhere. Now, certainly that being said, this is for somebody who's got resources, right? You gotta have money to be able to purchase this. But if you do the math, let's say 400 bucks. If over a year or 2 years, you say, I'm gonna buy 4 of these over the next 2 years, it breaks down. It's not super cheap to do that, but over 2 years, you get, you know, a couple bags that you can keep in the closet. So if something goes down, you can throw the bags in the car and boom, get out. Now, additionally, I mentioned you might wanna supplement these systems or this kit with other items. I would do that. I think for a relatively low cost, you can do that. Like I said, you can pick up a more companion to upgrade your knife and spend, you know, 15 bucks or so. Yeah, but I think as far as a kit, and I'm not getting any kickback from these guys. They're not sending me, you know, they're not giving me a cut of the kits that they sell through the link below or something like that. This is just my opinion. Can you build a cheaper kit than this? Yes. If you're just getting into emergency preparedness, is this a good kit? Yes. Is it costly? Yes. But I do think it gives you good resources to kind of start learning more. Maybe buy one of these, and then in the future, as you prepare more and more, you can build your own kit. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Are you like, no way, I would never spend 400 bucks because I'm already prepared? Then think about somebody who maybe isn't prepared. Would you recommend them spending 400 bucks for something like this because it's pre-made or not? Let's get that discussion started. I'm always interested to hear what Everyday Tactical Vids community members think about, you know, investment, how much are you willing to spend, what's too much, etc. But let's hear your thoughts on this. For me, if someone was just getting into it and they had the resources, I would say this is definitely something I would consider encouraging them to check out. But let's hear your thoughts on that. And yeah, let's go back and forth in the comments. Let's get the conversation started in the comment section now. All right, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.